looks like the camera's working again. I was gonna make my daily vlog. I always call them vlogs instead of vlogs. Vlogs sound better. I look over there at my calendar. The calendar's right there. 2 of them now because I've ran out of space for the other one. Want to see? Bam. So I got this one over here. This one over there. That one's for appointments. That one's for workout schedule. The W is like when I do a writing. If you looked, I've written for at least 2 hours a day. If you looked, I've written just about every day this month. And, I had to get another one, because I was running out of room. So this has been the most productive start of a month I've ever had. Today's March 20th, 2018. I went and got some free dental work done. In Hawaii, there's one place where they give free dental work. I go there about once a year and have a procedure done. So I've done that for like the last 3 years straight. Always on the same time, always during March Madness for some reason. But, yeah, and so I had a general topic I was going to talk about. It's spring break, and I guess the most productive thing I've been doing, I've been running 5 miles every other day. You're not running every day, you're a liar! No, I'm easing into it, since I smoked cigarettes for 20 years, and I quit this year, so it's been 3 months without cigarettes, and, you cannot run 5 miles a day if you're a smoker. You can say it, but you can't. You can't run, you can tell the people that run 5 miles a day, because if you do it 3 days, bam, your belly fat goes away, There was this guy at the church, and he was kind of like a shady guy. He reminded me of that guy that's in the news, Harvey Weinstein. He reminded me of Harvey Weinstein, and he, one day he came to this thing I was volunteering at. He's like overweight, and he's talking about how he runs marathons and stuff. He's like, yeah, I run a marathon, a Honolulu marathon, and a half marathon. And then like nobody brought that up, like, well, you're a fat guy, I've sat and watched marathons. None of them are fat. None of them, not one. There's old, but they're old and skinny. You can be 80, 90 years old and run a marathon. They have those. I've researched that recently. The Honolulu Marathon's a big thing. But this guy was like claiming he runs marathons, and I never seen a marathon runner that looked like that. To put it nicely, I don't believe him for one bit. But anyways, I guess a lot of people don't believe things about me, but that's why I'm like, do it objectively. Let's do everything objectively. Like before you make an assertion about something, before you decide something about that you made up your mind about something, like let's look at it from not from all angles, but let's look at some like some circumstantial evidence. Like me, like I've seen hundreds and thousands of people that run marathons, and that guy's bigger than all of them. What are the odds of astronomically that he would be the one person that, he also comes off of real shady and dishonest, and the same exact person that I considered shady and dishonest before would also be the only one person in the whole world that would actually be well overweight and claiming to run a marathon. The odds of that happening naturally are astronomically. That's a lot different than making an assertion like that than like, oh, Greg, no. He can't talk, or he doesn't have talent because he's poor, or he used to be homeless, so he has no talent. But really, is that the case? Why not just listen to me speak for 3 minutes here? I didn't have anything to talk about, or any topic, or any bullet points, or anything to look at, just my calendar. And that doesn't have anything that's helping me speak. So obviously I have something going on here, if I'm able to give you all this information in a brief period of time. So anyways, yeah, I fell really hard yesterday when I was running. So like, I'm running 5 miles a day. You're not healthy? That's what the hater would say. Okay, I'm running 5 miles a day. I quit smoking cigarettes. I don't drink alcohol. Yes, I don't eat healthy. But I do eat somewhat healthy. I don't eat very much meat or pork. I don't eat pork. I enjoy healthy food, but I do eat candy, and I do like sugar, But, like if you keep nitpicking at something, you're going to find something, dude. But seriously, I've been doing 50 sit-ups a day and 20 push-ups a day and like 300 curls today. I started off this year only 100 curls, and now it's just like, oh, I can do more easily. Is that like circumstantial evidence? Yeah, that's circumstantial evidence of me working out. But anyways, you know, like I'm making a lot of these vlogs when I come back from the run, so I was thinking like some people like, well, it was really like surprising when I was like in a group setting at my church and couple years ago, maybe 3 years ago, and I mentioned like it was all about health because at the Adventist church they're big on health. And so I was like, yeah, I actually walk 5 miles a day, every day. I've been doing that since I was a little kid. And this one like overweight woman was like yeah, right, like, and I'm just like, what? Like, yeah, that's so unbelievable. You know, maybe if I ran 5 miles a day and was a smoker, back then I smoked, maybe that would be unbelievable, you know. And so like now I'm running 5 miles every other day, and you know, it'd be pretty hard to fake that, you know. I'd have to go to a lot of trouble making those videos and falling down on purpose and stuff like that. But anyways, I was like a little depressed. It is a real like depressing like period really of like anybody's life. I don't know, or if you're in this position, that was close to a laugh just then. Like I'm 38 years old. I know I look a lot younger, and but where was it? Where was I on that? Well, like 10 years ago. Okay, when you're 38, you're like 2 years away from 40, or less than 2 years, depending on when your birthday is. My birthday was 6 months ago, so I'm a year and a half trying to kill this fucking roach. I have a roach infestation, and they're not doing anything about it. But I have a year and a half till I'm 40, and that's pretty scary, because like once you're 40, it's just like when you're younger and you see someone that's like 50, you're like, oh, they're 50, they're old. That's like the stage before grandpa stage, when they're like 50. It's like after the stage of like fatherhood, but 50, like grandpa stage. You know, so when I see like a 50-year-old person, I was, well, that's way in the future, that's old, you know. But like I'm 38, and so like 40, that's only 10 years away from 50, you know. And what was I doing 10 years ago? Well, exactly. Well, how old was I 10 years ago? 28, right? So when I'm 28, you know, I was still enrolled in a university where I think it was 96% of the undergraduates were under 25. So even then, I had to like kind of like, even if I did it unconsciously, I was like considered younger, you know, because I'm in the university trying to finish up university, and I did that up until I'm 30. So up until I'm 30, it's just like, oh, I'm a university student, you know, I'm graduated high school, university, so I like stretched out my 20s for a good period of time. And so, and then 30 comes around, it's just like, whoa, you know, like, let's get out of Texas, alright? You know, like for the first time in my life. So I get out of Texas, and then, you know, I'm 31 on the farm, and then, you know, I'm just like 30s, but still looking really young, you know, so like, people think I'm in my early 20s, and, you know, or younger even, and then, you know, 32, I go to Vegas, and, you know, 33, I'm in Reno, or no, 32, I'm in Reno, and then Michael comes, and we go to Berkeley, and then we go to Portland, and I'm registering people to vote, going door to door. And I guess I had my 33rd birthday there, and that was really great. Because if you don't know about me, my first job, me and Michael's first job was selling newspaper subscriptions door to door for the San Antonio Express News from the age of 14 to 18. We ended up dropping out of high school so we could do this. I was the city's top salesperson. I broke all the sales records. And so that's what I did from age 14 to 18. It was a really great experience going to people's doors, knocking on doors. It was something I was really good at. And then doing that again at age 33 in a whole other part of the United States, you know, it brought back a lot of great memories. And I knew it was something that I wouldn't have forever, something that I would have to like enjoy the nostalgia of it, you know, like when I'm knocking on doors, I do my certain knock, you know, and then like talking on the door, I mean, like that is a young person's game, you know, it's a young man's game being a salesman, you know. A door-to-door, elderly door-to-door salesman is a really sad sight. It's a young man's game, and so like that was like just me squeezing, milking the last bit of it, you know. But not the last bit of youth, but the last bit of that part of youth. But still, when you put it that way, the last bit of youth, you know, how many young people are 40 or over, you know? Are you still a young man once you reach 40? I've learned my cat eats newspaper, and so how will I translate to an older man, you know, after age 40? I was called a kid not too long ago here in Hawaii in 2014 or 2015 when I was working as a janitor, and like this lady like about 50, she had a flat tire, and me and this other guy came up to help her, me and this older guy, or he was about my same age but looked older, you know, and then I was helping her with the tire, and like, he's like, oh yeah, Greg's got this, you know, or Joe's got this, and then this other guy like laughed, and then she's like, yeah, you got this, you're just a kid, but you know what you're doing, you know, and I'm just like, I'm just a kid, really? I'm a 38-year-old kid? Apparently so, but I mean, hey, I'd rather look like how I look now than like how certain people look. But hey, what are you gonna do? You know? Like you're grateful for the things that you have, because a lot of people don't have that, and a lot of people they have less, and you can't really blame or question or ask why, because a lot of times it might seem that the wicked like excel and the wicked get ahead. Look at who the president of the United States is. You know, that guy's not a good guy. And or look at my shithead father. You know, like it's despicable. Him like he's so greedy and narcissistic. He's just going through my mother's parents' stuff. Like ha 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 ha. You divorced me. Ha, ha, ha. You know, like what the fuck is wrong with you? He's like 70 years old. Like he's that sure there's no God. You know. He's that sure he's not going to answer for, you know, being a horrible person? Well, if not, then if he doesn't have to answer, then his legacy is bound to me. That would be legitimate. That would be righteous. That whatever any human being thinks about him comes from me. Anyways, I'm going to end this. It's already been 12 minutes. It's flown by. The hardest thing about anything is just getting started. I almost didn't make this, and if you watched it, then this 12 minutes wouldn't have existed, because I didn't have any topic to talk about. So I'm like, oh, should I even make it? But anyways, I'm finally finishing my book. I know I said that before, but great writing is great editing, and I've spent 8 years going over and editing my first memoir, Gonzo Education. I'm really proud of it. I made it so I can read it all the way through without, you know, just flowing, you know. And so it's really good. I'm really proud of it. It's really funny. It's just really short book that's got legs to it, as they say. But anyways, that's about it. And if you're watching this, if I'm still around, just remember that I tried to enjoy every day, and I made some mistakes, but you can't go back in time. But one thing I did always do is continue to learn. So, have a nice life.